It's easy.
And I will jump right in. That is okay.
Hi there.
Well, I have to say,
We're judges having coffee again. Check out our mugs today. And there's our mugs, and we're having a great time. So I'd like to introduce you all to my friend and colleague, Lynn Newton, and she winters in Florida. Wow, cool. And summers in New Jersey. She's a WD large R judge, and she's the coordinator of the Judges Apprentice program at the World. So she's an essential part of our judges education. And I've known her from that even when I was apprenticing. You are so amazing. Thank you for volunteering for that. That's an amazing program. And thanks for your
thank
work
you.
on that, Lynn. We're happy to have you
Well,
here
I
today.
will tell you, thank you. I will tell you, volunteering for that was one of the smartest things I ever did because I get a refresher on my education just by being in the room with the judges. It's just fantastic. And then the quality of forces at the World Show.
It's a lot of fun to be at Worlds, even just to hang around, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We always encourage people if they can volunteer to go. If you can get to Worlds to volunteer, to help out, to participate, it's fun. It's really a big deal to be there. And the culture and the warmth of all the competitors and all the people working, it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's absolutely fun. And you're so correct about the warmth, the friendliness. I mean, I see very little drama at Western dressage shows.
Mostly we're just like helping each other. It's amazing how much help there is getting into the ring with each other and stuff. So yeah, a lot of fun. Hey, I have my usual questions, so I'm gonna start you right off. Can you tell us, you've been a judge for a long time as a large R WD judge. So do you have any funny stories or something real strange or unique? What's your weirdest story as a judge or at a horse show?
Well, I always have interesting things that happen to me, but I will tell you this. Okay, this story is going to be about the Girl Scout, Boy Scout motto of being prepared. Okay, I moved to Florida in 2016 for a job. Okay, I used to work at in the nuclear power business. So I
Wow.
came down here and I didn't know anyone in Florida at all. Didn't know anyone at all. So I figured that the way that I can meet people in Western dressage is I'll go volunteer to scribe at a bunch of shows. Then I can meet people, figure out where the action is down here, and get myself settled. So I go to the Florida State Finals. This is way back in like 2013, 14. And we are in the judges booth, and the arena sits a little bit up a hill. Now, I'm in the middle of Florida. I expect it to be warm.
Yeah.
It's like 45 degrees and 35-mile-an-hour winds that are coming right up under the judge's table, freezing your you-know-what off, okay?
Yes.
Did not expect, was not prepared for that. Absolutely was not prepared for that. So off I go to the store at night. I buy a turtleneck sweater. I buy leggings. And now I'm looking for gloves in Florida. Okay. I have to go to the sporting goods section and buy golfing gloves to keep my hands warm.
Oh my God, that's
unbelievable.
So funny. It would only be in Florida
so,
that you'd have to have golfing gloves.
Exactly. So we're sitting in the judges the first day and just shivering. I mean, couldn't do anything, right? Now, one thing I did have is way back when I went through the L program, this was the gift they gave, this nice little blanket. So this was in my trunk, all right? So that helped me out, but the other judge had nothing, okay? So anyways, this year I go to the state finals, and it is colder than that. I'm judging the saddle classes, the rail classes on Friday night, and then I'm going to scribe Saturday and Sunday because I love to scribe, right? I love to get new verbiage. I love to see things through someone else's eyes, etc. Now, when I go in the closet to get dressed to judge, those leggings and that turtleneck sweater are always there calling me. And I put them in my car. But one of my riding students gave me this gorgeous, I have Frisians, blanket.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was also in my trunk. So we get to the show, and I judged the show on Friday night, and it's pretty good. You know, I just have a suit jacket on. I have no coat whatsoever. The following morning,
Oh,
girlfriend, I needed my blankie, the leggings, the turtleneck. I had a blankie for the other judge. It was freezing, freezing. Okay. And then somebody comes up with these little doodads.
oh, I
Okay.
have those in
These
my,
are hand warmers.
yes.
I never would have put them in my bag for Florida, but they saved my life. They saved my little toes.
Yes.
So that was it. We were just in the freezer freezing. Then horse comes in, the back door blows open, and we are grabbing paperwork, trying not to upset the work. It was such a mess. Just did not expect to be cold like that in Florida. I had my lessons learned, and thank God I had my lessons learned, because I don't know what we would have done. It was so cold. And the riders were fantastic. They're coming in, no jacket, their pretty shirts on. They must have been freezing.
What about the horses? Like no quarter sheets. I'm like,
It was pretty crazy. So we were all, and then we had not only we're running 2 rings at the same time, and we have 2 apprentices.
oh, they're dying.
So the judge box is packed full. We got 1 apprentice with us, my judge, and I'm scribing. We were all freezing to death.
Yep. Yep. Those toe heaters are amazing. I keep those all year long. There's a package of those in the bottom of my judge's bag, because in New England, of course, we use them in our ski boots. And the toe heaters, you can put them in your shoes, which will save you, or in your mittens if you have to, either one. And there's always a pair or 2. They're so thin and so small. There's a couple of packages. And so many times, like you, I've been the one that had extra scarves, extra stuff, because I'm from New England and we think, you know, we're prepared for cold weather. And I'm with you. The coldest show that I ever judged was north of Ocala in the winter in February, 20 in the morning. I thought I was going to die. And if I hadn't had an LL Bean full length down coat, I would have died. It was awful. And the toe heaters. And it was mostly eventers coming in doing regular dressage, and those horses was so freaking fresh. You never saw so much bucking in your life in a dressage ring. But they were all clipped, and they didn't even have quarter sheets on them in the warm-up. They could have had a quarter sheet in the warm-up. And I was like, you guys, that's torture. You know, those horses are cold. You want to talk about forward? Wow, they were forward.
I bet they were. They were feeling no pain, right? Getting a little frisky in the cold.
Oh yeah, it was.
But see, if I was judging in New England, I would have had toe warmers, but not in Florida.
Oh, I've never been colder than when I was in Florida. 17 years of wintering there, and we took all of our winter clothes to Florida with us. Everybody thought we were idiots. We used them all the time. We used them. It's damp down there near the ocean, so. That's an awesome story. You know, I'm glad you were prepared like a Girl Scout. Good for you. So
I'm so glad I had my lesson learned.
Oh yeah, and it really doesn't matter. Like I don't take those foot warmers out of my bag even in the summer. I can't tell you when I've been places where it's windy and cold, and you know, maybe you're in the Upper Peninsula or Michigan or something, and it's July, but it's still windy and cold, and you're cold. So you don't want to get cold. It's tough being cold judging, and he's shaking. It's hard to pay attention.
Right, because you're just sitting still. Now imagine this. 3 of us are in the little box, and I'm trying to take my boot off to get the toe warmer in my boot while I'm scribing. Okay? Same with the judge, trying to manipulate her boot, right, while she's watching the show. It was funny.
Try not to take her eyes off the horse. I can imagine. That's good judging, you guys. Good job. Hey, I want to ask you, Lynn, if you had a soapbox, everybody knows mine. You know, I got a thing about the salute in the center line. But if you had a soapbox and you got up on your soapbox, what would you tell us?
So what I would tell you is that for me, it's the free walk and free jog. I'm very, I'm I'm going to say critical. I do get a lot of feedback on the free walk and free jog, but here's my tip. Just read the directives.
Yeah.
It's all there. Everything you need to know that I am looking for is all there. It's like having an exam and having the results, having a cheat sheet,
Yeah.
right? It's
Open book
there.
test. Open book.
Exactly. I see better free walks as the horse is leaving the arena than
Yes.
I see in the test.
Yes.
And I tell the rider that. And I tell the rider, right? Now we're not supposed to be giving lessons. So what I do, you're right, because we're supposed to give feedback. So sometimes the comment that I'll put in there, I use the word evaluate. And I'll say, evaluate the length of rein you are providing to accentuate the free walk. Could your horse stretch lower? Okay.
That's a good, helpful comment. That's helpful.
Because a lot of riders restrict the horse. They'll take their hands and make them wide and drop them down to their thigh. Yeah. Wide hands rob rein. They rob 2 to 3 inches of rein away from the horse and prevent it from maximizing and loosening its back. You only got maybe 20 meters, right? You only got 20 meters to show me. So I want to maximize it. But a lot of it, I think, is folks don't practice it. You need to add that, practice it. You have to have a signal. And nothing more beautiful than when that horse just follows the bit and the reins down. It's gorgeous.
You have an amazing point there that you said they need to have a signal, and teaching the horse a specific aid to get it. And where you allowed to use voice aids, whatever, you can teach the horse whatever you want to teach it to. I need the stretch and I need it now. And can I add in one more thing? Because I think your soapbox is amazing. I always say to my students, look at where you are relative to the judge, because I can only see it when you're relatively close to me. So if you're going away from me like MXK, and of course I'm at C, you need to get it before X. Whatever you're going to produce for me, if you don't get it before X, I can't see it after that, or I can't see it at the optimum opportunity. So think about if you have all the way across the diagonal and you're coming towards me, like towards M, okay, that's M, then if your horse is slow getting it, it's not really a big deal, because, get it. And when you don't take up your reins too fast, because I'm only seeing it from X to M. And if you take your reins up too fast, you also lost your opportunity. So that's another thing. They're not paying attention to the angle from which we can actually see it best. But that's an amazing soapbox. Good advice to them. Thank you. Wow, I love asking judges this stuff.
Okay. Now for me, okay, when you usually, many of the free walks are on the diagonal. Though I am turning onto the diagonal with my inside rein, I am paying a mile of rein out during that turn, so that when I get on my straight line, I've already got a stretch. Because so many times I say better second half. Because the rider doesn't work at it immediately through that corner. The corner's there for a reason.
Use it. Yes. Get the horse out there.
And then possible. Exactly. Then I do my picking up the reins just as my horse's nose gets to that letter. So I'm using again the corner to get back up into the bridle.
Yes, absolutely. And that is wonderful tactical advice. So well advised. Perfect. We just gave them a whole bunch of tips. I hope they're listening. So our last question we ask everybody is, we're obviously passionate about WD, or we wouldn't be here. Oh, and what is it, if you think about WD, the one thing that you'd really absolutely like to share with everyone that you want to share because this is your passion about WD or about the training, riding, horsemanship, whatever?
I will tell you this. WD has a place for everyone. Everyone. Okay. 7 levels of competition. Intro. You could walk, jog your life away, just mastering the walk, jog stuff. Okay. And not feel guilty about it. You don't have to feel guilty because you're not moving up every level every year. Right.
Right.
Get that feedback. Get the feedback and use it to your advantage. Work on the things. The reason there's a double coefficient is that's probably the most important movement in the test. So I'd be practicing it twice as much.
That is
So
wonderful. That's
for
wonderful.
me, you got 7 levels. There's a military section. There's silver spurs for us older folks. Okay. There are breed awards all over. They have, now here's one that really does it for me, is very early on in the sport, they developed an exceptional rider program. Okay.
Yeah.
So those horses that are in therapy programs and those riders can compete on an international level. They're not left out. There's a place for everyone in Western dressage.
Right. And a place for everyone, and really a place for every horse. Even we have mules, we have gaited horses. Gaited horses aren't prohibited. Ponies, it doesn't matter about the size. It's been a long time. Like, one of my passions here is that I don't perceive that we have horse snobbery here. Like, everybody loves everyone else's horse. Like, there's a unique one. 50 or 60 breeds in a show is amazing. You don't go to a WD show and they all look alike, because they don't.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun. And they're all doing such a great job. And people actually say to me, well, you must need to have a quarter horse to be good at Western dressage. And I'm like, you would be amazed. We actually have statistics that show that your chances are just as good with any breed. Quarter horses do great. Mules are doing great. Arabs are doing great. Whatever you've got, it's all about the training. It's about the harmony. It's about having fun. It's about the journey, but it isn't about how much you paid or what the breed is. And I was so excited a couple of years ago when I was judging whirls and I was judging the gaited class, and this horse came in, and I hadn't seen an Icelandic horse since I had been in Sweden working, and in came an Icelandic, and I was just so excited. I was like, oh, it's an Icelandic. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, this is so exciting. Like, how cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it is truly fantastic. I will tell you, for me, there's a place for everybody and every horse in this organization. And you're right. There's nobody that comes in with spouting out the name of their horse, trying to tell you how expensive the horse is or who their trainer is. I don't care who leads you to the arena. Okay. I have not seen a breed preference, and I'm ecstatic about that with Western dressage. But for me, it's the metamorphosis that happens. Okay. I have a young student. She was kind of burned out on the circuit, showing the horse. We stumbled back into each other. I knew her like from her 4-H days, right? Has a gorgeous horse. She gets interested in Western dressage. The biggest thing for me is she was ready to start at intro.
Right.
She didn't say, my horse can do flying lead changes. I'm starting at 2nd level. I'm starting at 3rd level. Started at intro and learned so much. But you saw that horse come into his happy state. He moved forward now. He moved the way God built him to move. Okay, nothing fake, nothing, manipulating a headset out of the normal position that the horse should be in. And I've seen many, many horses do that transformation, and then they come so beautifully underneath the rider, as if there's no rider sitting on top at all. The crew become athlete. They become a way better athlete, and like sometimes just magical. You can't even see the rider give a signal, and there's that horse side passing or leg yielding. Phenomenal. I absolutely love it. And it is truly all about the journey.
It is. Thank you so much for talking with us today. It's so much fun to get to know you better, Lynn, and I'm so glad everyone else will have a chance to have coffee with us. Thank you for being here with me today. We'll talk to you
No
again
problem.
soon.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Thanks for watching. If you like the information we provided today, don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. Also check out IdaNorrisDressage.com and Ida Norris Western Dressage on Facebook.